Hello guys, this is me here coming up with the video as promised on PMS and how to track your progress. Let's start with PMS and how to handle it nutritionally. So what happens with the menstrual cycle? It has four phases. Of course, we have the menstruation, follicular, ovulation, the luteal phase. And what is happening with this is that there's hormones that are fluctuating, estrogen going down, progesterone coming up, and the vice versa. And then we have also hormones like the follicular stimulating hormone. So what is happening is that there's a lot of ups and downs, and you need to also use your diet to keep them in check. So if you consume foods, like for example, you're consuming a lot of sugar, a lot of alcohol, then it might already disturb this, I would say, system that is already supposed to be working a particular way. So the PMS period can come in, the PMS phase can come anytime after ovulation, and it comes with a lot of bloating for a particular percentage of women. It's not everyone that gets PMS symptoms. And what I've seen is that it might come heavy on this month, and other months it's a bit balanced. But I keep saying, if you're eating right, you're working out, most of the times these symptoms seem to go down. So what we are doing, or what we are talking about, is how to handle your nutrition during the PMS period. So you want to be eating as whole foods as possible, because if you're bloating, if you're getting gas, then that means you're coming from a point of needing to help the body to push out the waste. And this is happening, of course, because of the hormones fluctuating. So you want to consume more fruits and vegetables. And then, I know it's tough, but with the irritability, the mood swings, try as much as possible and move. If you go to the gym and you don't feel like going to the gym, take a walk, go for swimming, go bike riding, get moving so that the bloating feeling eases. So we also have home remedies that you can try. You can try pineapple peel tea, that you just boil your pineapples. You can add ginger to that. You can add things like cinnamon, cloves, and just let it boil and settle down, then you consume it. Now, this is the time to also make sure that you're getting enough sleep, enough rest, reduce your caffeine intake, and if possible, you have the last cup of coffee by maybe 2 p.m. so that there's a bigger period of caffeine free, so that you're not struggling with your sleep. Then we also want you to get a bit of vitamin D if you're able to. So expose yourself to the sun about 30 minutes. It actually does a miracle. If you are a PCOS lady and you can continue or you can try seed cycling, it can actually really help with this. I know there's a lot to talk about seed cycling. If PCOS ladies, please Google on that, or look out Shikwa Sox's page. She's doing an amazing job on the same. And then PMS period is the period to add up or top up on your iron. So for example, if you're sitting down to come up with a family plan, write or make sure that the week during or before your period, you have maybe something like liver, or you have beans and meat just before, so that you're already topping up your iron levels prior to the menstruation. I have seen dark chocolate above 85% help with PMS symptoms, but I've also seen people take magnesium supplements and it eases with the symptoms. It's not for everyone, but some people have actually figured out how to do it. I would also really urge you to stay away from the cravings, in as much as they are very strong, but stay away from the cravings, because those foods will now make the bloating, the gas, the flatulence worse. So we're talking about sugary foods, salty foods, we're talking about junk if you can be able to stay away at least 90%, it's going to help relieve the symptoms. If you have any questions on any of this, of course, you can drop me a message. I'll be willing to help with that. Now, PMS is just one of the weeks. We have other weeks, and maybe I need to touch on the same. I keep saying ladies have only 2 weeks where they need to maximize on their ability to lose weight during the month. So you have 2 weeks when you're at your strongest. You have increased energy, you feel like you're looking good, you have increased creativity, and it differs from woman to woman, because I've found ladies who are very strong during the ovulation period, but menstruation period they're down, and the vice versa. So if you can take time in the course of the next 2-3 months and sit down, write everything that happens to you during the different phases of your menstrual cycle and try figure it out, then you will come up with a conclusion that, for example, I have been doing it for some time and I know my ovulation week is my worst, so I do not have energy, I crave a lot of food that I'm not supposed to eat on a regular, so it's the sugary, the salty, I don't want to eat my vegetables. So during that week I give it maybe a 60. Then the rest of the 2 weeks where my energy is top, and the funny thing is my ovulation week is my strongest, my menses week is my strongest, then I will optimize on eating right that week, because I don't eat a lot during that week. I struggle with food, but I have increased energy, so I want to have a lot of my weight lifting during those 2 weeks. And then the other weeks I'm trying to give it a 60%, so at the end of the month then you've already given an average, rather than doing very well 1 week and then you allow the PMS week to come and it messes the entire month. I hope that's really helpful. Please let me know if you have figured out which weeks are bad for you and how you're handling it. For me, I go slow and do the workouts that I really enjoy and eat the foods that I really enjoy, then I pick up with the rest of the weeks. Now, we are coming to almost the end of the June challenge. I'm not excited because I have really enjoyed being part of this team, because one thing, people did not rush to step on the scale and post it on the group. Very few did, and this is what happens with weight loss. At times you step on the scale and the number has gone up. There are reasons why the number will go up. Number one, water weight retention. It can be ovulation week, it can be periods week, it can be you just ate food that makes you retain water, especially something as simple as alcohol really makes you retain a lot of water, because most of the time we do not hydrate properly. So you are dehydrated, you start retaining water. Now, what to do with that? If you step on the scale and it looks bad, it's okay, it's just a bad number. Tomorrow will look better. But by tomorrow, I don't mean you step on the scale tomorrow and the day after. I like to tell people to step on the scale 1 day of the week if possible, and it can be, if possible, same day of the week. So if you choose your Saturdays for your check-ins, do Saturday, if possible, every Saturday morning, and then you record down what you got. So maybe you got a 70, a 73, a 75, a 71. Then you add that and divide by 4. What you will discover is that this is the average of that month. So when you're moving to the next month, then you're trying as much as possible not to go up than that, because you cannot have the scale always going down. But if the scale is going down, well and good, we are happy. We are hoping the clothes are also fitting better. We are hoping that you're sleeping better. We're hoping that your periods are balanced. There are a lot of markers to use. You do not just use the number. So the second marker is your clothes. How are your clothes fitting? Is there a dress that you bought that wasn't fitting and now it fits? Is there an outfit that you are wearing that's now loose? Do you feel like your pants are looser? Like, you need to start checking other things just apart from the scale. The scale can actually really disappoint you, and the scale can go up for other reasons. You ate a lot of salty food the previous night, or you consumed a lot of carbohydrates the previous day and you stepped on the scale, or you're stepping on the scale in the evening instead of in the morning. There's a big difference. So use a lot of other things like there's a lady during the review meeting who said her BP has started behaving. I like when people talk about their sugars becoming a bit more stable, so they're not having hypers and hypos. I like when people talk about acne clearing. I like when people talk about increased energy. So a workout that you are doing in 20 minutes, you're now doing it in 30 minutes, or you're lifting heavier and yet you've not increased the food, you're trying to actually control your portions. I think that's a bigger marker to use. So when tracking your weight, please let's stop focusing on the number on the scale alone. I know it's very exciting to see 10 kgs off, but what have you really lost? Have you lost just water alone, or you're losing a bit of fat? Once you lose water weight, it's actually very easy to put back, to actually regain it. And that's why I'm seeing a lot of people who are doing these shortcuts. Like, for example, you do a smoothie diet, or you do IF, you're doing one meal, you lose, and because you've not lost it the right way, or it's just water weight, then you're going to gain it very fast back. The body, once you start consuming carbohydrates again, you will start retaining that water, and then the scale looks like you've actually gained. So let's continue with the motivation. I cannot wait to see what progress you guys made in the 30 days, and most importantly, I cannot wait for you to transfer this to your family, to your friends, and I'm hoping to see you back for the 100 days challenge.